everybody, so I am here today with my first tag. I was watching some videos and I thought that it would be a really fun tag to do. So I wanted to do it, so we're just gonna do it, okay? So if you're going to do this tag as well, leave me comments. I would love to watch it, and I will leave all of the questions in the description bar below. So the first question is, what was my first tweet? And oddly enough, I actually remember this. I had a boyfriend in 7th grade and I had just started a Twitter way before people in my school did, because I think like Jared Leto had a Twitter, and so I like had to get a Twitter. And I tweeted that I was going boating with him, but I had 0 followers at the time because I didn't know anybody else that was on Twitter. So I think I just ended up deleting it. I deleted that entire Twitter account, but that was my first tweet. I was like, oh, going boating, hashtag boating, or something. Some 7th grader would tweet. First YouTube video. My very first YouTube video was on my, I don't remember exactly what it was, actually, but my very first YouTube video was on my other channel. I made a channel in 7th grade. See, 7th grade is just the year for Tia getting on the internet. So oh my gosh. So I had a different YouTube channel when I was in 7th grade. Different from this one. This one I just started up again like not too long ago. But I had one in 7th grade, and it had more subscribers than I have now, but I just wasn't doing it often, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling those videos, so I just made a completely new channel when I started back up into YouTube. But the very first YouTube video, I really don't remember. First person you subscribed to on YouTube. Oh, goodness gracious. Wow. That was a long time ago. That was like 7 years ago. Yeah, I want to say it was like Bethany Moda, or like, I don't know, one of those girls, but part of me honestly feels like it was like Live Level Live. I think it was Mitchell Davis, because I just loved him as an artist, visually. First Facebook profile pic. I don't know who's gonna remember this one, but I have no idea, really I don't. Do you still talk to your first love? No. He Facebook messaged me a couple of days ago, but hard to like, it's so weird to say, because so I dated a guy like my freshman year for like 10 months, and at the time I was like, oh my god, I'm so in love with him. But now that I'm with Caleb and looking back, it's like, would I call him my first love, or would I call Caleb my first love? Because yeah, at the time I did love him, but now that I'm with Caleb, that looks like such petty, stupid young love. And which, once I'm older, I'll look back and be like, wow, Caleb and I used to be so dumb. But you know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, I'm like, I don't know if I would call him my first love, or if I would call Caleb my first love, because Caleb, I mean, I live with Caleb. Like, we're very, very serious, obviously. But I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I'm sure you guys get it. What was your first alcoholic drink? My first alcoholic drink? Oh my gosh. My mom had a Rolling Rock sitting out, and I think my brother and I took like sips of it. That would be it. What was your first job? Technically my first job was working at the Oregon State Fairground, but I quit because I got the flu, and then I quit, and it was only for like 7 days, and I worked like 3 of them, and besides that I worked at the Gap. What was your first car? Well, I've never really had a car. My family kind of just all shared cars, honestly, which is I'm still super grateful for, that I even had like a mode of transportation, because a lot of people don't even get the option to have a car to drive. So I'm really grateful for that. I started out using a Hyundai, starts with an S, I don't remember. And then they actually surprised me with a Hyundai Elantra 2004, black one, but it wasn't like mine, it was like a family car, but they surprised me with it because I drove it the most, and I used it like all the time when I had a job. Who was the first person to text you today? My mother. Who was the first person you thought of this morning? Caleb, because he was freaking pushing me off the bed. Who was your first grade teacher? Miss Anderson. I liked her a lot. Seriously, when you're a little kid, your teachers make such a huge impact on your life. Like, if you have terrible teachers when you're young, it makes you grow up, like, in a completely different way. But That's why I feel like it's so important that if you're going to be an elementary school teacher or a kindergarten or preschool teacher, you really have to have the passion for it, because you're going to affect those kids for like the rest of your life, and they're always going to remember you. Where did you go on your first plane ride on an airplane? I went to Washington, D.C., and then we drove down to North Carolina to Raleigh to visit my stepdad's dad, my step-grandfather. Who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend was Holly. We grew up together literally, like, the second we were born, we were, like, mended into friendship. You know, like, whew, we are friends. And, no, we don't still talk. We grew really separately in high school. She's very athletic and smart and popular, and I'm very withdrawn and artsy, and I talk to a camera. So, you know, like, we definitely went separate ways. We don't still talk. Our families still talk immensely all the time. But no, we don't talk. But I still follow her on social media and stuff, and she seems to be doing really, really well, which I'm glad for. Like, no hard feelings. Like, I would only ever want the best for her, and if she ever needed anything, I would totally give it, you know, like, do all I could. But, no, we don't still talk. That's just life, though, you know? Like, people go their separate ways. Where was your first sleepover? Holly's house. What was the first thing you did this morning? I watched YouTube videos and went on social media, because that's what I have to check every single morning. What was the first concert you ever went to? Technically, I think it was Aaron Carter at the Oregon State Fairgrounds, but, like, that's when I was really young. When I was, let's see, I've been to a ton of concerts. I used to go, when my dad still, like, when I still lived with my dad, he used to take us to concerts all the time, and my dad and I don't do anything together anymore, so that's where I got, like, my, you know, my mom's really wonderful, and we do a lot of things together, kind of, but my dad and I used to do, like, a ton of stuff together. We would go to concerts, and we would go to freaking museums just for shits and gigs. Like, it was a fun time, and we would do a lot of stuff, road trips, everything, and since he's not really, like, a huge part of my life anymore, I don't really do that sort of stuff, because I don't have anybody that shares that passion that he gave to me for music and art and all that kind of thing, all those kind of things. But my first concert would technically be Aaron Carter, but besides that, I went to a ton of Warped Tours, Panic at the Disco, Smash Mouth, honestly. Yeah, I went to a ton, so, but the very first one was Aaron Carter. I'm trying to think of an Aaron Carter song. No, I can't. It's ridiculous. There's one where he, like, the music video is like, beep, beep, gotta get home now. First broken bone, never broke a bone. First piercing, my ears, when I was like 5, or not 5, like 5 months. Thanks, Mom. First foreign country you've gone to. I went on a cruise, and that was the first time I've ever been out of the country, so I went to, technically Jamaica was the first place I ever went to outside of this country. And besides that, then I went to the Grand Cayman Island, and to Mexico, and then back up. So those are the first 3. It was all in one trip, but technically the first country I ever went to was Jamaica. First movie you remember seeing? Rugrats. The Rugrat movie. And I just watched it the other day, just for fun, and I seriously started bawling my eyes out at that part where Chucky and Dale, like, got lost in the woods with the monkeys or whatever, and because they drove in the Reptar, and then the Reptar flipped or whatever, and then Dale's, like, laying down, and Tommy, like, starts crying and, like, puts a blanket over him, and it's so cute. And I just memories. But that's the first movie I think I remember watching. I watched so many movies, though, like, seriously, I love film. When was your first detention? My first detention was in middle school. I kissed a boy, like, right, I know, such a slut. I kissed a boy, like, right outside, sorry about the sound. I kissed a boy, like, right outside of the school doors or whatever, and I got in trouble. Who was your first roommate? Technically Caleb. He's the first person I've lived with outside of my family. If you had one wish, what would it be? to have more wishes. What was the first sport you were involved in? T-ball. I love baseball. What is the first thing you do when you get home? Typically change into sweats or shorts because I don't deal with jeans or pants or leggings or sweatshirts or none of that. So I'm definitely always in like sweatpants or shorts. When was your first kiss? Is the very last question. My very first kiss was in 7th grade to a douche boy who's like I think in jail now or something. I'm not kidding. I don't know. Yeah, it just happened. I don't know. I'm not technically proud of it, but I'm not really one of those people who thinks that like kisses really mean much, you know? Someone's gonna bash on me for that. But like, it's just not a huge deal to me. Do I wish I would have maybe been with someone I even cared about? Yeah. Do I really care? No. So that's that. It's in the past and I really don't care. I don't know a lot of people that care, but if you do, that's totally fine. So that is all of the questions, and again, if you do this, please leave it in the comments. I would love to watch and see your own responses, and keep leaving me suggestions and requests and messages for more videos to do, and I hope that you guys really enjoyed this tag. I thought it would be something different, something fun, so I hope that you enjoyed it, and have a good day.